Hey there, this video is going to be about how I pulled my two oldest children from public school last summer and what we've learned our first full year of homeschooling. If you're new here, my name is Cassandra, Cassie for short. I have an Instagram and a TikTok at homebody_mommy. I have shared about just fun humor with the reels and the shorts. But lately I've transitioned to sharing more about our homeschooling experience. I have 3 children. My oldest is in 4th grade at this moment. And then I have my middle, she is in 2nd grade at the moment. And then I have a pre-K-er, she's on the older side of 5. She just turned, pre-K-er. She's the older side of being in pre-K because she turned 5 in January and she'll start kindergarten at 5.5. A few things I've learned this year with pulling my kids out of school for our first year of homeschooling. I wanted to share because it might be different that my children did go to public school for a couple years. It might be different than if I started from the beginning because I maybe had a little bit different expectations. Number one being I picked an all-in-one curriculum. I feel like I was very picky because one, I didn't know what I was doing with curriculum and I just wanted something all in one. I didn't have to put much thought into it, as well as the fact that I did not want any religious content. So we chose an all-in-one curriculum. It got me through, but I slowly learned that it was not for everyone because all-in-one includes everything. But each child is different and one might like the science, one might like the language arts, one might like the math, but I paid a lot of money for this set and now to realize one child doesn't do well with the language arts or needs more, I need to go spend money and pull from another company. So I have learned now, which it worked great, but I have learned now what I like and what works for my kids and will be pulling from different companies and not doing an all-in-one curriculum, and I saved a lot of money doing that as well. Secondly, I thought that we needed to have a very strict morning schedule and wake up at the crack of dawn, have my kids ready. We're not lazy, like we are doing schoolwork. It doesn't have to be like that. We were very strict in the beginning. I have like a schedule on the fridge of what they need to do, but slowly realized our homeschool work, it gets done. It doesn't have to be the second you wake up. If that works for you, great. But what we have learned is to have a rough schedule for our day. Make your bed, brush your teeth, but you do like one child is a morning person and wants to be up at the crack of dawn and get everything done, get all the chores, make the bed, do all your schoolwork, and be done. One child needs a little more slow start to the day, and that is fine because she does everything she needs to do at a good time still, just not at the crack of dawn, and that is fine, which it also helps me have time because one child is doing work not at the exact same time as the other. So you do not need a strict schedule. It does not, you're not proving anything to anyone. What works for your family is great. It doesn't matter if that's not what works for another family. I have learned, yes, we need somewhat of a schedule, but it doesn't have to be super strict. The kids do like to know what to expect, but crack of dawn does not need to happen. Another thing, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea in the beginning, was to follow the public school calendar for the year. Like if I thought my kids were missing out by not getting the President's Day off or the exact same holiday weeks off, we had extra, but I still for some reason kind of followed. I don't know why we did this because we don't want to be at the park, at the trampoline park. We don't want to be at places as all the public school kids when they're off on holiday, like it's crowded. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. You can do year round, you can do month on, month off, whatever works for you. But I learned, I'm not following the public school calendar. we're gonna do semi year round. So this year we followed the calendar, and then I'm going to have them continue on math. They're going to do like a math review when they're done with this school year. And then I'm also gonna add in Spanish, and they're not getting like a true summer break. They get a break every day. They have so much fun. Just to have nothing to do for 2.5 months seems a little ridiculous to us. And I'm not overscheduling them. They'll be bored. So yeah, we're gonna slowly transition to more of a year round with tons of little breaks scattered in, a lot less strict than this last year. A funny one that I realized this week is sick days are not as exciting, because we were very fortunate, especially being home from school, not to catch many sicknesses at all. In the beginning, I thought, oh, we get sick. No, I'm not gonna make them do schoolwork. Just because we're home, I'm not gonna make them do it. Like I don't wanna take that from them. We got sick this last week, and I was sick, so we had a very slow start to our morning, but my son, he was sick as well, and he had no problem after the slow morning wanting to get his work done. Because when you're going to public school, you're like, yes, I get a break. I get to watch some TV, like have time to myself. But when you're homeschooling, you pretty much get that every day anyway. So when you're sick, it's not that exciting to be like, I get to lay around. Because when you're homeschooling, you get to do what you want. You get to play Legos, go jump on the trampoline. You have so much free time already that public schools kids just don't have. So yeah, my son wasn't that excited for a sick day. I was like, you don't have to do work if you don't want to. We can just, or we can have a late start to our day. Granted, he wasn't super sick. If he was super sick, I doubt he'd want to do anything but sleep, but he wasn't. He wanted to do his work. He didn't want to get behind. He's excited to be done for the year. So he did it. It didn't take him an hour and a half, you know? I don't even know if it took that long, but it was done. And so yeah, sick days they're not that exciting anymore. I remember being so excited as a kid for those sick days, but that was one I didn't expect to learn. And lastly, of course, I have learned so many things. I could probably talk forever, but I'm speaking to a camera at the moment, so I'm just going to list a few. But lastly, one of the things I've learned is who cares what anybody else says or thinks, especially if they're not a homeschooler. Of course, it is good to hear from our family or friends, different point of views, I guess, maybe things we don't see from the outside looking in. But most of the time, you as the parent knows best. You know your children best. You want the best for them. So ignore them. Do what's best for your kid and your family. Enjoy this extra time that you will get with your kid, pulling them out of public school. Enjoy it. I am so excited to enjoy this next year, knowing what I know now and learning a little bit more, relaxing a little bit more. I love having my kids home. They love it. There's so much more I can say. You know, they have their little activities, their friends, they socialize. I was so worried about that. You know best, and you're gonna doubt yourself. I still am gonna doubt myself, but I have gained a lot more confidence now that we've been through pretty much a full year of homeschooling, and you know best. So ignore all the people. Of course, I'm gonna learn more. I'm gonna continue to learn. That's what we do. We continue to learn from our experiences. So I'm sure there's someone that's gonna watch this that has done homeschooling for 20 years and like, oh, I'm open to that. I'm gonna learn more. But this is what I've learned for our first year after pulling kids out from public school. This is what I've learned and wanted to share. So if you want to share more in my comments, go ahead. I'd love to read what you have to say. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.